I'm Callum, and this is one of my evaluation pieces to answer the question: in what way does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? I've created like a PowerPoint on my video editing software, and so I'm going to speak over the top of this plane. I haven't done this before, so I don't know how well it's going to work. Um, so I wrote a script for it, and then I put all the images down in the video editing. I don't know what the time is going to be like, so I'm gonna have to start and stop and do stuff, but I'll try my best anyway. And I am recording this with my inbuilt laptop microphone, which might produce horrible audio, but as long as you can understand what I'm saying, I'm sure it will be fine. So here we go. In 1980, the theorist Stephen Neal said that much of the pleasure of popular cinema lies in the process of difference in repetition. The audience recognizes familiar elements in a film and derives pleasure from the way in which those elements might be orchestrated in an unfamiliar fashion, or in the way that unfamiliar elements might be introduced. This is what supposedly keeps us as audiences very happy, and it's these unique elements that define genre. The Scream franchise is a perfect example of this. The slasher combined comedy and mystery to satirize the cliches of horror, developing its own subgenre along the way. Certain elements are similar in all three films, yet new ideas and material are incorporated into each sequel, showing the evolution of a genre as well as the challenges of trying to create cinema with which an audience can engage. My short film Draws, a spaghetti western thriller, is composed of two types of sequences which represent very different genres. The duel develops on the expected iconography of westerns. They're surrounded by the wilderness, they're wearing the gunslinger outfits, the Stetsons, the shirts, the jeans. It has those naturalistic colours, and it has that western music which I took directly from a western film. And the reality sequences contrast that directly. It's dull and unsettling, the characters have ambiguous motivations, and the audience is unsure who the main character is, and it all builds up to the revelation he's killed somebody. Um, the Western's different to this and that. The characters, while their motivations aren't clear, their relationships to one another is very evident, and we know who wants to kill who, and we know um who the good guy is. But in the reality sequences, that we don't know any of that. My short film is directly inspired by The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a staple of spaghetti westerns. My protagonist doesn't speak throughout the film, and he's incredibly ambiguous. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was made in an era which redefined the Western. Audiences didn't want the romantic ideals of Westerns like Shane anymore. They wanted something new and gritty, quick and violent. My protagonist goes against expectations. He's a bad guy. Yeah, he doesn't wear the bad guy's costumes in the fantasy sequences. He doesn't wear the black hat, etc. He presumably kills two people in cold blood. He's delusional, obsessive, and ignorant to his own actions, but he imagines himself a hero. And this is an important continuation of the Western hero of the 60s, the scruffy, morally ambiguous, cold-blooded gunslinger, which you still root for though. What my short film is pushed further, he's a murderer fantasizing about being a gunslinger. And I think that's rooted again in the idea of uses and gratifications. He is like the audience. He uses the film and TV, the medium, as a form of escapism, but he brings it to a whole new level. My short film draw mixes elements of two specific genres, like I've said before, the thriller and spaghetti western. It has that certain sense of uneasiness and ambiguity, the suggestion that something bad is at work without the audience knowing necessarily what it is, and it has that colourful, heightened duel that concludes with that sudden outburst of violence. These elements all juxtapose each other, and the work towards redefining itself as its own genre. Rick Altman argues that genres are defined in terms of media language and codes. My short film works on multiple levels in order to communicate its narrative by using these different forms of language and codes, mixing language and codes from two different genres in order to communicate a new genre and establishing unfamiliar elements as new elements. The form of my short film ties in generally with conventions, It's about 5 to 6 minutes, which is average for short films. And the website Short of the Week generally hosts short films which are around 5 to 15 minutes. And this is because short content is a lot more accessible online. However, a lot short films which are longer in length do have their own place on the internet. I found this short film, The Candidate on Vimeo staff picks, and it's one of those examples of a short film with incredible production quality, um, and it's one that very easily engages its audience despite its running length for something being online. I think it's because some websites like Vimeo are targeted towards an audience which finds it's easier to watch things that long. My short film is trying to be concise with the online forms and is around 5 to 6 minutes in length. This makes it more condensed and concise, and given more time, I might have explored my character's real life more in depth, trying to figure out why he is the way he is without giving the audience too much information. But the specification said that it needed to be around 5 minutes long, and so I had to cut out and condense quite a bit of the reality sequences. Short films being as short as they are, there seems to be a lot of fixation on ending them with a twist, which does have its merit. Since it's not as long as a feature length, it has less time to be composed of lengthy and memorable sequences. And in terms of narrative, it's very helpful to end on a note which leaves the audience wanting to see more, which they already want to do because of how short the short film will be. The Candidate is another successful example of this. It's kind of split into two sections: the preparation and then the um, argument discussion scene. I wouldn't call it an argument, but and that relies heavily on the end of the conversation, which is a twist, which kind of um, changes the entirety of the narrative and the past like 19 minutes you've been watching. But it's very clever and unexpected, and everything about the short film is great in terms of pacing and direction and the acting. But what makes it stand out is its ability to engage you for those 19 minutes, and then at the end to twist it around and defy your expectations, which is very important. But at the same time, it could be argued that having a twist at the end is building on audiences' expectations, because we expect that from a short film in many ways. I found this very helpful genre quote from John Hartley, which he wrote in 1994, which I think links directly to my short film. It says, "The addition of just one film to the Western genre changes that genre as a whole, even though the Western inclusion is a few of the styles or subject matters traditionally associated with the genre." And I think this ties in very nicely with the evaluation question um, about my product challenging or using the conventions of existing media products. Because I set out to emulate the style of spaghetti westerns, and that's what it does, particularly in the duel scene. But overall, it's a completely different creature. It tries to deal with different ideas and um, promotes a different ideology in a way. And so I think it's important to take into mind that genre theory of the idea that every existing media product is based on pre-existing media products, and even though it may bear very little in similarity, it's just as important in defining that genre as what it came before. Um, And I think it was very true for the spaghetti westerns, or like the westerns just generally in the '60s. And when you compare them to the ones of like the '40s and the '50s, and I think it's true for my short film as well. Um, and its place um, as a western, and how it's defined as one, by genre, and how it tries to bring in more modern concepts and ideas and implement them and reevaluate um, what what that genre means, and trying to bring in try to address the genre, um, and how that character, the main character, views it. My poster magazine attempt to relay these generic conventions. The breaking away from the generic conventions is what my short film is trying to achieve, whereas the promotional images, like the poster in the magazine, are trying to reinforce the idea that it's purely a spaghetti western. And on the poster, this is done by the images, the wide shot of the jewel, and the close up, the intense close up, which was introduced into the '60s, is very conventional. And the font and the colors, um, all of which are part of the short film. The poster doesn't take anything that's not in the short film, other than the banner across the middle, which I made myself in Photoshop. But that's exactly what the poster is trying to do, to engage an audience. It takes the iconography of a western, to try and establish to the audience that this is exactly what the short film is. But um, the reviews um, are what makes it stand out. And I think it talks about westerns and murder. I think the idea of the reviews are that when you look more closely, it shows you that it's not exactly a western, and it's something more than that, and it's filled with elements that are not familiar, that the audiences wouldn't be familiar with. And I think generally the same goes for the magazine, but that's more to do with the image. But the language um, wants to describe the magazine sorry, describe the short film positively, and gonna get across the genre, but being from Sight and Sound, which is trying to appeal to a more a serious cinema audience. We'll see there's a much more in-depth discussion of the short film, which I think the short film itself is trying to promote, um, self-referentially in a way, by focusing on that character that might be relatable to its audience. Thank you for listening. That's mostly what I've got to say about the way it challenges, uses, or conforms to generic conventions. But I have a lot more to say to that in the commentary, audio commentary that I'm going to post of the short film, which I'm going to go in more depth about the iconography, where I can just go through the short film and discuss it more in depth. Um, but yes, overall, yeah, that's generally my evaluation of that specific question. But I'll have a lot more to say in my audio commentary, like I said. Um, but until then, I hope this has worked all right. And is easy to follow. Along with it, I'll like kind of type up an audio, well, not an audio transcript, but like a transcript of everything I've got to say, in prose. Um, the information's there and written in stone for you to read. But overall, yes, that's it. Before I say all this stuff yet again, I'll just say bye.